Welcome to Happy Valley, State College, Pennsylvania. The S-Zone fired up, stands starting to fill, and they are ready to see the Penn State Nittany Lions take the field to kick off this new season. Today, we have one of those games that tests your focus. Top 25 team against an unranked opponent. Can you take care of business? As we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, taking on the 5th-ranked team in the land, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Nittany Lions about to kick it away and get this season started. And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. The Gamecocks offense takes the field to start this game off. And here's the man they rally around, and he has earned that type of respect, David.
You dang right. You earn it by doing it, and he's done it at such a high level. Everyone believes in this young man, and Palmer, there's a reason why.
You're right, David. He's been in the big moments, and he's won the big games. This guy delivers when the game is on the line.
And the Gamecocks come to the line in the hurry-up.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
Great execution on the RPO, and the receiver had some time to find the soft spot in the zone.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. The Gamecocks will call on their punt team. Looks as if they might have a little something going on that drive, but they'll have to kick it. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. So the Penn State Nittany Lions offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. As we take a look at our impact players for this one, what are you looking for, Jesse, for a guy to make an impact?
Well, these are simply put the leaders of this football team, and generally games go how these guys play. If they make plays, then they've got a shot to win this one.
No doubt, they got to show up. These are the team leaders. These guys have to play well if they're going to win the football game.
Going up top on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. He's got it. Good pickup there as he gets the 1st down, and they'll mark him at the 48. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Fires downfield. Fires into traffic. Picked off.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake. Hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great season so far, young man.
Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the...
Looking deep down the right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Grabbed in the middle. It's Spencer. He gets it so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. He's looking for a man on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Nittany Lions will bring the punt team onto the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. He'll wave for the fair catch and haul it in at the 25. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on over. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot. You got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Coming after it. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down. And the Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. The offense lining up for a 1st down play. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking to the big tight end. Couldn't quite hang on to the pick, and he will be thinking about that one for a long time. They'll run play action. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up in pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front 7 on defense, it's going to be tough.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. They're working that left side. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Keeping it on the ground with the running back. Still running at the 40. He's loose. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Penn State! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. Boy, did he just scorch that defense for that score.
He shows you all of it, Rich. He's got the speed, he's got the agility. This dude's a big-time playmaker. You just give him the ball, and he'll find different ways to kill you on different plays.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's recap that ranked-on-ranked matchup that has just gone final. Louisiana delivered the knockout blow early in this one, en route to the type of win that can turn some heads there in the Sun Belt. Trust me when I say the party is on in Lafayette. A top 25 clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. They'll give it to him again. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6. The Gamecocks want to pick up the tempo. Davis looking to pass. Tight end finds a soft spot and works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. And the Gamecocks are flying down the field. Got his man quickly. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. They'll line up for a second down play. Wide receiver coming across in motion. On second down, wants to throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Slade. And oh, he was off to the races after the catch, and they finally drag him down. The Gamecocks will snap it on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. He's looking to throw. Snagged in the middle. It's Rose. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
Really nice job by the running back setting up that angle route. He's making it look like he's running to the flat, and then he puts his foot in the ground, cuts back across the defender's face, and makes himself an easy target for the quarterback.
Quarterback wants to throw on second down. Makes the grab. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. The aerial assault continues. He's got it. Good throwing catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Looking to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Jacksonville State.
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. Right down the boulevard. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Throws to the wideout. Got his man. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. That's the way to give yourself some breathing room. Now the second play of the drive from the 36. Here's the handoff. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. He has 60 yards on the ground in the first quarter. What a tremendous start to this season. Catch in the middle, it's Anderson. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on first down. Fires to the wideout. Oh, and he drops it on the crossing route on first down. He knew that defense was bearing down on him. It'll be second down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Unloads to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. Now from inside the red zone. Quarterback floating away from pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and down he goes.
All right, offense has got to be better. You've done a nice job getting the football to this point in the red zone, but now you can't go backwards. You've got to be able to get rid of the football if it's not there, and that was a terrible play giving up the sack.
They've got a really good drive going, but a little speed bump here at 2nd and 13. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. The give to the tailback. They make the stop after a pickup of 3. Ball's at the 18. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. Trying to get to it. Couldn't find anybody open, just threw it away, and that's a smart move. You want to avoid the turnover, especially in the red zone. It'll be 4th down. And it's right down the boulevard. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3 spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. From the gun, running back on the move. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. They're trying to get to it. It's complete to the right. And he's dragged down. And the Gamecocks are in the hurry-up. Davis will throw. He's right on target. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains. The Gamecocks have it with a 1st and 10.
Everybody on the same page there on blitz pickup, right? Offensive line, everybody communicating, understanding where they have to work to give their QB time to make an accurate throw and pick up the 1st.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. He's looking to throw. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. They get enough rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
And it's such an advantage for this defense to have an outside linebacker like that can rush the passer because they can set the edge. They can get off the ball, and they're just way too fast for tight ends or for offensive tackles to get out and block them.
And the Gamecocks decide to punt it away. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Looks it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. A strike downfield. They are finding soft spots in this defense. He's got it down to the 25.
It's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
And that's why for the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hand.
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! Quick strike touchdown comes out and jump-starts the offense.
And man, we see this in college football, so much explosiveness and firepower, and we get high-scoring game after high-scoring game, and it looks like we're on pace for one of those right now.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Dynamite matchup today, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Georgia State is in front. They've responded well to all the off-the-field chatter this week, but they still have to finish the job, and that is no sure thing right now. They're up by 7 over the Pandas.
To the air on 1st down.
We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, we'll see them here, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Davis looking to pass. Quickly to the tight end.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He's going to run it. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. The Gamecocks headed quickly to the line.
Nice job. Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the first down, and getting down. Because defensively, I'm trying to get a lick. Anytime I can hit the quarterback, that is a win.
And the Gamecocks are rolling down the field. Quickly complete. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. Offense lining up quickly. Leaves it with the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Here comes his home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to buy time. At the 35, he's open. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Running the red zone, it's Rhodes. And he's brought down after a solid gain, and we are done in the first quarter. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. Gets it out quickly. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense, 1st and goal from the 7. They'll try to get it in with the run. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. Wide receiver shows motion. They want to run this quarterback. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. You can hear yourself think on 3rd and goal. Pushes toward the goal line. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Jacksonville State. Man, did he show some hops for that one.
Some serious vertical right there. I tell you what, everybody in front of you, hey, I'll go by air if I need to. Good job getting in the air, getting the touchdown.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. 17, He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. He'll keep it himself. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. They get him on the ground at the 37, but give him 15 yards on that chunk play, and they'll move the chains. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. They work that running game down to the 34. Let's give him 3 on the carry. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Trying play action. He'll take a deep shot here. Touchdown, Penn State! Made the snag and strolled his way into the end zone.
And this offense gets on the board and the first passing touchdown of the season, and I feel pretty confident saying the first of many. This offense looks like they're in a good rhythm, and this passing attack's going to be hard to stop.
Ready to try the point after. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
Jacksonville State, 14.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Downfield. Flying down the left side. Past the 10. Touchdown, Gamecocks. And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
This offense is really dangerous because of the weapons they have on the perimeter of the field. And you're seeing they go to these guys early, and they try to give them opportunities in one-on-one situations and vertically down the field. 2 passing touchdowns now early for this offense.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown just like that. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth, and I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards, and we're in the first half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job seeing the field, reading coverages, and finding his open guy.
They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Win with the running game on first down, now back at it. Motion from the offense. Rides to the back. And he's brought down, but the defender got a face full of stiff arm before he picked up that first down. With that, he's got 101 yards on the ground, and with that run, he eclipses the 100-yard mark in this season opener. The Nittany Lions are on the move. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Couldn't connect on that last play. Now 2nd and 10 from the 42. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. A 3rd and long coming up here. Got the back over the middle. On the move at the 30. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down. The Nittany Lions want to crank the tempo.
I don't always have to push the ball down the field. I love when QBs drop back, look at it matchups. Oh, I got my running back. I think he can get the first down. Give him the football. Let him be an athlete with the football in his hands after he catches it. Nice job by the QB. Nice job by the running back.
And here comes the offense on 2nd down. The play-action fake. Throws to the wideout. He's got it. He'll be stopped just short the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
Gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
He'll try to tack on one more. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Rutgers is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. They're trailing by 10 to FIU. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Gets it out to the 20 after a pickup of 4. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chains. Davis will throw. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Going the other way, and he's got room. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
I tell you what, as a quarterback, you've got to have a short memory. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be asked to do a lot, and he throws his first career interception. If I'm the coach on the sideline, listen, I'm bringing him over. This ain't going to be your last big fella. Like, you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Put it behind you. Next play.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost. On the move. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal for the offense. On the option. Touchdown, Penn State! And they take it in for 6 more points.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on 0. After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jesse, in this game.
They got to put some points on the board here. There's obviously a lot of football to go, so it's not necessarily panic time just yet, but I'm getting the ball into the hands of my best playmakers on this drive.
I hear you, Jesse, but not panic time. Have you seen my defense? I mean, I'm not trusting them to get a lot of stops, so it puts a lot of pressure on this offense.
The Gamecocks want to move quickly. They try to pop a run on the draw. And the Gamecocks pick up the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
That's a 1st down for the offense.
Out of the gun, the give to the back. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, give him 1. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Davis looking to pass. Got his man on the outside. And good blocking in space out there to give him enough room to pick up the 1st down. The Gamecocks are marching down the field.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but it makes life really easy on me on second down.
Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And the Gamecocks will punt it away on fourth down. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. There is a lot of real estate in front of this offense as the ball is touched dead at the 5. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They'll leave it with him. That hole closed quickly. He'll get 1 out to the 6. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Brings up second down.
Handoff from the shotgun. Makes one man miss. And he's brought down after a nice gain. On first down from their own 22.
First down, Penn State.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Solid run, picks up 6 and gets it to the 28. Got 6 on first down, now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Anderson. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He's got his man.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this offense was going to try and get this receiver involved and get him involved early. So here they are just finding an easy completion. It's not a touchdown, but they just want to get this guy lathered up and get him into a rhythm.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Ball's at the 47. They're looking at a 3rd down and short. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's incomplete on 3rd down. The Nittany Lions will send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Caught in the backfield, it's Rhodes. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. The Gamecocks in the hurry up. Off play action. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. A 3rd and short coming from their own 20-yard line. Davis will throw. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Gamecocks will line up to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. Fires to the wideout. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on 0. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. Going to try to pop one on the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Offense set on 1st down. He's looking to throw it. The sure hands, it's Anderson. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackling. Just didn't seem like the quarterback and his intended target were on the same page there.
3rd down play from the gun. Pulls it in. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. They'll throw it on 1st down. Starting to feel a little pressure. He's going to take off. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. He wants to throw. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires left. Incomplete. Man, is he lucky to get that one back. Defense that close to an interception. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. And the Nittany Lions send out the punt unit. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. It's going to be right around the 35. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Pocket starts to collapse. That's caught. It's Spencer. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. He makes the connection. Gets it to the 46-yard line. 1st down for this offense. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. He's going to throw deep right side. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, one of the best atmospheres in football, and we've got a fun one from Happy Valley. Each of these two offenses has looked like well-oiled machines, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out these two passing attacks have run circles around these defenses. Man or zone, nothing seems to be working, and I'm not sure that defensive coordinator is going to be able to figure things out here at halftime. With that said, let's send it back to the guys in State College, PA.
The Gamecocks will line up to kick off and start the 2nd half. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They start this 3rd quarter with the lead, but they might want to think about shoring up that protection.
Yeah, the good news is you're leading on the scoreboard. The bad news is your quarterback doesn't feel like it because you can't protect him. So, David, adjustments in pass protection, that has to be something they were talking about here at halftime.
100%. Just you can't get him hit that much. He's still doing a good job delivering the football, but if you keep hitting the quarterback enough, man, they'll start to see ghosts, they'll panic, and they'll make some of those mistakes.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. They're getting this guy lathered up. didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Now the play fake. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And the beatdown has ensued.
How about the bomb? The long field all the way across the field. Big-time play, big-time throw. Receiver runs underneath it, takes it to the house. Huge play for this offense.
Lining up to add another. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. The Hawkeyes have been hanging in there, but they're going to need something to break their way, and soon. They're up by just one over Pittsburgh. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29. On the ground, it's Rhodes. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Running back searching for a hole. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Davis looking to pass. Makes the grab. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
And that's a first down for the offense.
From the gun, the running back has it. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. After the good pickup on first down, let's see if they keep it on the ground. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Quick strike complete. And the Gamecocks get enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They move the tight end all over. Off the play fake on first down. Caught behind the line. It's Jones. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. Handoff from the gun. They're just trying to flex the muscle. They get him down at the 34 after a pickup of 4. 3rd and short coming from the 34. You wonder if this is 4-down territory. Pulls and fired complete. Working their way closer and closer. A 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. Off the play fake. Unloads to the wideout. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Bringing it back. He's inside the 40. The 20. No one there to stop him, except the fella in the striped shirt who threw the penalty flag. This one might be coming back. Wow, you just don't see that a lot. Pass interference negating a pick 6. What a costly penalty. Comes out throwing on first down. Gets it out fast. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Not much room. He gets 1 down to the 7. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. Going for 6. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
The big fella's on the field, guys, for the 2-point conversion. Powers forward. He'll make his way in for the 2, and now they're down by 16. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Jacksonville State, 29.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Finds a man on the right. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. The Nittany Lions will hustle to the line.
QB now has over 400 yards passing, guys, and you got to give everybody else in his supporting cast a ton of credit. Receivers, great job running routes, catching the football, and this offensive line has been outstanding giving him time to throw.
And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy. Off play action on first down. Lets it fly. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. The Nittany Lions with the 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Working that left side now. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. Give to the running back. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line.
Brings up 2nd down.
They'll give it to the back. Smashes through. Give him 6 on the play. They'll mark it at the 9. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Snap from the gun on 3rd down. And that ball is caught in the back of the end zone. But the officials are signaling incomplete. He was out of bounds. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to get the 3. It is perfect. And that lead grows even bigger. They're really starting to extend that lead as they get ready to kick it away again. Out of the end zone. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. They want to run it left here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Running back goes in motion. Davis will throw. Got his man out of the backfield. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. 3rd down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster. The Gamecocks will punt this one away. He gets it away from his own end zone. At midfield, trying to turn it upfield. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Goes to the option. Breaks the tackle. Good pickup there. He gets enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the back. Just ran over it. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Throws to the wideout. Got it. He stopped just short of the goal line, but they'll have it 1st and goal from the 1. Fast motion from the offense. Touch pass on the jet sweep. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Offense trying to pay it off on 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Penn State! And the punishment has been extended.
And it's been more of the same in the second half for this offense, doing whatever they want. What a start to the season, man. This is exactly what you draw up. Everything they drew up in the offseason has worked in game one, and that's why they are dominating this football game.
The AT unit on the field. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with a short plunge into the end zone. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on home. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Keeps it on the bootleg. Fires to the right. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have let him a little too much. Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. Davis looking to pass. Fires toward the target. Makes a connection. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Can hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. This time he's got his man. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the 1st down.
At the 26-yard line.
He's going to pass. He just got rid of that one to save the down. Didn't see anything he liked. And after the incompletion on 1st down, this offense looking at 2nd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown. Working the middle, it's complete. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
And that's good enough for a 1st down.
The inside handoff. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. To the ground with the back. Works his way ahead for about 3. It's down at the 8. 3rd and long, and they can get the 1st down without scoring a touchdown. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught close to the marker, it's Jones. Touchdown, Jacksonville State! And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, it just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
And the kick is good, but there's a penalty flag, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Line gets set, 1st down. Got the quick completion. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. Clock ticks across the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd.
2nd down.
They'll run play action. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They got him free for a big gainer down to the 43. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now on 1st down from the 43-yard line. He'll pull it on the read. Sweet feet on the move.
It's the MO of this offense, and they really put a lot on the offensive line to go out and really try and establish their dominance and their assertiveness, and they've done a good job of that early in this game running the football.
Knocked down at the 24-yard line, but it's a big game. 15 yards on the play, and this offense is in business. They'll ride the hot hand. They make the stop at the 19 after a pickup of 5. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. After run, now throw. Got it behind the line. It's DeMarco. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain. They'll try to run for it. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. The Nittany Lions line it up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And the stomping has commenced. Up and over, Yamo be there into the end zone.
And you don't want to leave your feet very often in football, but this is one of those areas where you do. In the end zone, near the goal line, you smell it. A lot of bodies in front of you. Just get up, get over top of them, get that touchdown.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. UAB is lighting up the scoreboard right now thanks to a dazzling offensive display. They're up by 21 over the Pandas. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in studio, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us.
And that's a 1st down for the offense.
Right back to the well. Dragged down after a pickup of 5 out to the 35. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. A 3rd down try for the offense. Davis will throw. Got his man on the right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the 1st down. And the Gamecocks have their offense in high gear. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Lay.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The give to the back. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on 3rd and short from the 49. They'll try to get the first through the air. He finds his man. That'll be enough for the 1st down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. The Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll try the run. Makes his man miss. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. 6-yard pickup on 1st down leaves him with 2nd and 4. From the gun, running back gets to give. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a 1st down. Inside a minute to go here in the 3rd.
Good enough for a 1st down.
He'll do it himself. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the 1st down play. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. They think they can create space here with the run to the right. Headed to the end zone. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one. A 1st down run on the doorstep. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. 2nd and goal for this offense. They're going to run it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Jacksonville State. Great example of how a 2nd half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. 1st half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. Hit that one with some aggression for the point after. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. And brought down. Looks as if that's how we'll end the third.
No gain on the play. Brings up second down.
We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. This offense has a second down play. Takes the handoff, and he's going right. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. They stop him after a short game. Probably just wanted to mitigate the losses with 4th down coming. The Nittany Lions line up to punt it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. A fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. He wants to start this drive with a pass. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
After the big 1st down sack for the D, it's 2nd down. Davis looking to pass. Pressure coming. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the 4th quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
He's got a 1st down and maybe a lot more. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the 4th down conversion, moving the chains easily. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the 1st down there.
Yeah, and you got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the 1st down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
Back to the air one more time. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. He's got it on the move. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. They'll try to get it through the air. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks! Having a playmaker like that can get the offense out of just about any situation.
And no doubt, he can roll right, he can roll left, he can do whatever he wants and buy time and throw the football, but you have to defend everything. You have to defend pass, you have to defend run, and you have to defend plays that aren't even called. So good luck stopping this cat.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. Splits the uprights. A 67-yard touchdown drive there, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge.
62, Jacksonville State, 50.
And he's going to try to return this one. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. After giving up that last touchdown, they still got the lead, but now feeling a little bit of pressure to answer with one of their own, David.
And it gets a little bit tight. Listen, we're getting later in the ball game. This offense punted last time. They got to find a few plays, Palmer, that they really love here. Steal some momentum back in this ball game.
They do, David, and after watching their defense just get gashed down the field that last drive, the dream drive for this offense would be to matriculate the ball down the field, eat up some clock, and finish it off with a touchdown.
At the 40, there he goes. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. And the Nittany Lions racing to the line in the hurry-up. They'll put the tight end in motion. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lead?
Look at that toughness, just running through everybody. Tackle was made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards, added up for a first down. He's got it on the right. They get him down after he makes the catch. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Let's see what they've got on second down. Crosses the 30, he's got away. He's into the open down the middle. Touchdown, Penn State! He broke away from the defense and they couldn't catch him.
Game one, you want to come out, put drives like that together, score a bunch of points, and especially at home. Give your home crowd something to get excited about. They have today. They've been jacked up, and they're going to go 1-0.
Attempt to try. And no problem on the extra point as they push the lead to 19 here in the fourth. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on 0. Davis will throw. Just not quite able to make the connection. It's incomplete. Line getting set on second down. He's looking to throw. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Lets it fly. And that pass picked off. He'll try to take it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
You talk about being handed a chance on a silver platter. First and goal from the 3. Out of the gun, looking to throw. Makes the grab. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And the route is on.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Colorado State is currently up big at this moment, so much so they're on the verge of getting Cam the rest of the day off. They're up by 35 over the Royals.
Wants to throw on first down. Dances away.
Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Davis looking to pass. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out everybody right now on the same page.
The Nittany Lions have moved it inside the 20. They're going to try to throw for it on third down. Flips it out to the back. And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering for the score. The Nittany Lions have it in scoring position on first and goal. They'll go with a direct snap. Touchdown, Penn State! And the pummeling has started.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get concerned. Because this offense obviously has had themselves a day. And apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring. And the defense better do something about it.
Ready to try the point after.
On for the extra point.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. From inside the 10, here he comes. Buys just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. Just a short pass to the tight end. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on first and 10. Davis will throw. Fires to the middle. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. He wants to pass it on second down. Using the quick game. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there. And still a little ground cover to pick up the first. Shotgun snap. Wants to throw it on third. Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25. And the Gamecocks are on the move. Looking to go up top on first down. He looks that one in nicely. And they finally haul him down, but not before the good catch and run. Wonder if they'll be conservative on first and 10.
Good enough for first down.
It's complete to the left. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
Brings up second down.
Grab behind the line. It's Spencer. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
It's third down.
They'll try to pick up the first through the air. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Honestly, 3rd and 1, I think you just run the ball. You just trust in your own guys' ability to be more physical, win the line of scrimmage, and go get that yard. Now with the sack, they're going to have to punt.
There is no point in a field goal here, so the offense stays on the field on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He caught it. And he won't be able to push his way in. He stopped at the 1. The offense knocking on the door. First and goal. Davis looking to pass. Here he goes breaking the pocket. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
And that is just what you want. You get a first-and-goal situation defensively, and you can get a sack and get a good loss, put them out of an easy running situation. Nice job by the defense.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks. In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there are some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build on.
Lining up for the PAT.
For the extra point.
Smashes it through for the PAT. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they finish it off by connecting from 10 yards out. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They go to the ground. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wide out in motion. They feed him again. They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the change for the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The handoff, keep working on that clock. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Is that stiff arm even a human arm? It looks like some type of steel bludgeoning device on his way to a 1st down. They'll go to the ground. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. He breaks a tackle. And he's almost to that 1st down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the 1st down. Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. He's got 1st down yardage as they move it to the 44. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the running back. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They'll run this play from the pistol. The old coaching cliche, go 1-0 every week. And for the 1st week, they get it done.
Yeah, great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season. But 1-0, that's where you want it to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you've just seen. First game of the year, there was tremendous effort on the field. Guys flying around, flying to the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game. They definitely made a few mistakes, but that's what practice is for. But if you're the coaching staff, I think you're very, very positive right now moving forward.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.